What's up, beautiful people? I'm Justice Pfeiffer and you are watching the first video on my channel. Welcome. So for this kind of welcoming video for my channel, I was hoping to do something like a little bit of an introduction to me. I'm just gonna go through some things like that I like, stories about me, favorite colors, whatever, you know, all that kind of stuff. So let's get straight into it. Alright, so let's do this. Okay, Alright, so first I'm going to start off with my name, my age, and favorite color, as that little TikTok thing goes. I don't know. Anyway, so my name is, as you heard from the very beginning, Justice Pfeiffer. The Pfeiffer part is German for like musician and all that kind of stuff, and which is kind of ironic because I have a very musical family. And Justice is, well, Justice except it's spelled J-U-S-T-U-S. So, yeah, you know, righteousness, all that jazz. And then my favorite color was orange for a long time because everybody said that I need to have a favorite color, so I just chose one. And then later on in years, recently, I realized it's actually red because a lot of the stuff I own is red. Okay, for the next one, I'm going to talk about my hobbies. I have done a lot of stuff. I'd say the bigger ones, like the more fun ones, was I tried to do Shaolin bow staff, kung fu stuff for a long time. I wanted to be a comic artist, and then I just wanted to be a normal artist. When I was younger, I wanted to become a bug exterminator, and then I was like, nah, I want to become a rocket scientist, and then I was like, I want to become a zoo veterinarian, and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna become a zookeeper. Lots of stuff, and if I can remember any more, I wanted to do YouTube for a really long time. Whether or not it was gaming, or just videos kind of like this, or even doing stunts like Dude Perfect. Either way, I just really wanted to do YouTube stuff. So here I am giving a crack at it again. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is my dream job. And just as my hobbies, I've had a really large amount of dream jobs that I've wanted to have over a long period of 15 years. And right now, I don't really know. I'm kind of just going wherever the world takes me. But right now, what I'm probably going to get into is becoming a zoo veterinarian or helping people with low emotional intelligence with their emotional intelligence. So, yeah. Alright, so this next little bit we are going to get into 3 stories about me. Okay, so first one was a long time ago back in Pawleys Island, which is a place where I used to live over in South Carolina, over in, well, like the southeast-ish area. I can't speak. Anyway, so one day we had this massive magnolia tree in our yard, so I was like, I'm gonna climb as high up as I can. Now, I've climbed that tree before, right? I was a professional climber, if I do say so myself. You know, I was pretty good at climbing up trees. And so I was getting up there and I climbed super duper high up, and I climbed up so far that the branches were starting to get really small. Now no, I was like maybe 9-ish years old. No, younger than that, maybe like 7, something like that. Either way, so I was climbing up that tree, and then all of a sudden, one of the branches below me broke off, or like the one that I was standing on. But I had my hands like gripped onto a branch above me, so I was kind of just dangling there. And to my small self, I thought that I must have been like hundreds of feet up in the air. And the story changes to hundreds of feet, to maybe 100, to maybe like 50, to 30, to me now realizing it was probably like 10 feet, maybe 5 feet, probably wasn't that high. But either way, I was still determined to not fall down. So I started yelling to my mom, and eventually my mom came out, or actually first my sister came outside, and then my mom came outside, and she was like, oh my gosh, and she was like, baby, just get down from there. And I was like, I don't know how to, and she was like, just put your legs backwards. And so I did, and then I found a branch behind me, and long story short, I'm here obviously. I didn't break any bones. I just got down from the tree and I climbed it like the next minute. As soon as I got down, I was like, okay, I'm gonna climb up again. So yeah, that's story number 1. I have to do 2 more. What am I gonna do? So story number 2 had to do with me and my sister in a house when I was about like 8ish years old. So here's the deal. I really, really love my sister. I also did back then. And so I wanted to spend as much time with her as possible as, you know, a little brother. So every time she would do anything, I'd always try to jump in on it. That included when she would play with her American Girl dolls or her Barbie dolls or whatever. I would always also play with Barbie dolls. I would be like the dog, or I'd be like the Ken doll, or I'd be Barbie. You know, I would do whatever I can to play with my sister. And so eventually my friends would start coming over and they would be like, oh, bro, you know, Barbie dolls are actually haunted. And you know, I'm like 8ish years old by this point, so I'm like, haunted Barbie dolls, oh my gosh. And so a little part of me was like, oh, that can't be true. But the other part of me was like, hey, it's fun to believe in that kind of stuff, right? I'm like, that's how we got conspiracy theorists about flat earth and government lizard people. Anyway, I feel comments raging already, like that one comment. Anyway, alright. And then, so I was having a sleepover with one of my friends. His name was Eli, and we were kind of just, you know, we were talking. It was like maybe 7, so we were pretty close to our bedtime. And he was like, bro, I think I just saw something move outside of our door. So we all kind of like creep over there because we're all like, scary, scary. And then we look out there, and there were these 2 American Girl dolls outside of my sister's door, facing up, staring straight at us. And all of us jolted over to my bed, and we all just like hid under the covers. We were like squealing and like laughing, but other parts of us were like, oh my gosh, you know, it was a little bit of shock. And so after like what felt like hours, which was probably like 2 minutes, we went back and we went over to the door where the Barbie dolls were, and we checked there and they were still there. So we were like, bro, they actually are haunted, oh my gosh. And we went to bed, we closed the door. It was strange enough, that door had a lock on the outside of the room instead of on the inside of the room, so that the parents could lock the children up in there. And I'm just now realizing that there probably was some scary, either way. The people who owned that house before us were police officers, so nothing to worry about. Anyway, so yeah, and then we woke up the next morning, we went over there, the Barbie dolls were gone. We asked my sister, and she was like, oh yeah, we just left them out there. And I was like, okay. And so yeah, there's a little kid story. Anyway, so yeah, that was story number 2. Now for story number 3. My life isn't interesting enough for this. Okay, so this next story is very embarrassing, but you know, I was young, as all these great stories, as all great stories are really. They all have to do with a small kid, whether or not it's an entitled kid, or it's just a really, really funny kid, or whether or not it's just a kid that's thinking not right. And so, yeah, either way, this one, I don't know how old I was. I'd have to be very young, because I obviously wasn't thinking straight through any of this. So basically what happened was we were at this restaurant, right? And we were kind of hanging out, and I was like, hey Dad, I have to use the restroom. And he was like, oh, okay. Went over to the restroom. I'm guessing there was like a big line, because for some reason, we didn't go to the restaurant restroom, right? It wasn't like a fancy restaurant. It was like one of those family restaurants, you know, the ones that really shouldn't be considered restaurants because they have little kids screaming everywhere. Anyway, so we go over, we go outside, and he's like, okay, buddy, just go pee in the bushes. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And he's like, well, buddy, that's what men do. So, you know, get out there and go pee in the bushes. And I was like, okay. So I go over there, right? And little do I think or even realize that the highway where a bunch of cars are right in front of me. Okay, so they're like over there, right? And so what I do is I'm about to go to the restroom, so I take off my pants and my underwear, so I'm butt naked in front of the highway where there's a tons of cars going by, and I just do my business. And the entire time, my family, well, I think my grandparents were there, they were just laughing and laughing and laughing. And I wasn't thinking, I was like, and so, yeah, it's a very embarrassing story about me that I might regret sharing, but who cares? So, yeah. Don't let little kids go pee in the bushes, because they're gonna find a way to do something awful. Now that we're done with all the stories, now that we're done with all the other kind of stuff, I'm going to jump into the very last little thing, a little segment, other than the end, that I'm gonna do, and that is my plans for the future of this channel, which, as you can imagine what that is. So basically, what I want to do with this channel is I want to just do, well, kind of like basic like vlog stuff. You guys seen how like the influencers. I want to become kind of like an influencer person. Like, I can't think of anybody, that my brain comes to it, but like Brent Rivera kind of stuff, all that. And so yeah, I like doing that kind of stuff where it's like me and some friends, like we go out and we just do like stupid, funny stuff like that. Like wearing bras with weights in them into freaking mall, or trying to sneak into a movie theater, or whatever else they be doing in those videos. Flooding my house with 1,000 of those little ball things, in the mall where they have the giant pool where kids are like, I'm drowning, and the parents are like, is it safe in there? Anyway, so yeah. I want to do that kind of stuff. Whether or not it's unboxing videos of whatever. Oh no, I could do like a funny one with like lipstick and like makeup products. I could just make stuff up. But yeah, that's what I want to do with this channel. So I'm hoping that you guys will super support me by pressing the subscribe, smashing that like button, as people do be saying. And yeah, so awesome. Alright, peace. See you guys on my next video. Justice out. Okay. Yay, I'm done.